Good. Hello to everyone. My name is Maria Gogorini. I'm a member of the Socrates Lab and the Department of Surveying and Geoinformatics Engineers here at the University of West Africa. And I'm going to talk about something a little bit different. I'm going to tell you about the connection between smart cities, smart data, G.I.S, and the phenomenon of piracy. So mainly I'm going to show you how historical events can be presented easily to the public with new technologies, and also how locals and tourists can learn about local history of places in Greece, mainly coastal settlements. So there are two main definitions about smart cities and smart data, as you probably already know. And that depends on the applications and uses they are discussed in each case. So I'm not going to spend much time on that. What I found out is that smart cities are completely linked with technology and innovation. So a part of a smart city is new technologies. So I could say that G.I.S is a part of a smart city. And through them, we can attract people to the cities and teach the history and show easily the heritage of archaeology. So, a few things about GIS is that today is a part of the digital solution a smart city needs. And the good part with the GIS is that they are designed to store, manage, analyze, display all the data from the real world. And another good part is that we can use both vector data and raster data. So that GIS became, I think, an important part in a smart city, and they can be used in every part, from teachers to doctors to surveyors, everywhere, and even history. So, what the GIS can help us do? One of the parts that it can help us do is create cartographic creations. Such cartographic creations can be static maps, interactive maps, animated maps, or even 3D models. So we can, so we can visualize historical events, archaeological findings, cultural monuments, and so on. And all of these historical and archaeological events and findings can be combined in those cartographic creations, and all of them can be added in a website in order to be more easy to be accessed in the public and in everyone. And through them, we can also make comprehensive analysis on those data we have in maps. So I'm going to tell you a few things about pirates, so it's going to be easier for you to understand what I'm talking about. First of all, we have a difference between piracy and privateering, cruisers, we call them otherwise. So the difference is that pirates act for themselves. In the contrary of privateers, that they are authorized by a kingdom to engage in piracy against the kingdom's enemies, and they offer them a part of whatever they loot in order to have the protection of the kingdom. So in Greece, we have pirate bases in almost every coastal settlement, sometime in the centuries. And mainly in 16th and 17th century, piracy flourished in Greece. We have pirates all over Greece, and not only. So we have many Greeks who ended up in piracy. And there were two main reasons for them to end up in piracy. The one was revolution, and the other was livelihood reasons. And we have some typical examples of pirates that were Greek and acted in Eastern Mediterranean, such as G.I.S, G.I.S, and so many more that they were looking for a better future. To mention that G.I.S became the leader of the Ottoman naval for a time period. And G.I.S is a very important person, I could say, because he managed to create the first kingdom of pirates, independent kingdom of pirates in a Greek island called Milos. the coastal settlements have. What they have is that they have common characteristics, but they also have big differences. And all of those depend on the geomorphology of the place and the geographical position of each one. Nowadays, the coastal settlements we can see today if we visit a coastal settlement in Greece is based on those ones that they built back then. And some of them, they are built close to the port, so they can be easier for people to visit the place. And others, they were built a little far away from the port in order to be safe. Eventually, even if there were forts in the most of those settlements, no one actually managed to protect itself fully from the pirates. So the people that they lived in those coastal settlements had to do one thing, to have good relations with the pirates. Not all of them did it, but some of them yes. So in order to have a good connection with pirates, most of the coastal settlements let the pirates to sell the booty, whatever they steal, and slave markets. And also it was very common for pirates and crusaders to marry local women. For a place to be considered as a pirate stronghold or pirate base, as we can call it otherwise, there were some main characteristics that we see in all of them. First of all, safe ports to protect themselves not only from the weather, but also from their enemies. The second is fresh water and food, as it's kind of obvious, I could say. And sandy beaches, because they like to repair the ships, and to do that, they had to pull their ships out. And because the ships back then were wooden, they need wood in order to repair them. And of course, guns and weapons and all of that, because they were engaging in battles all the time. So what we did is visualize piracy through G.I.S. So we created a website that contains information about piracy and the pirate strongholds, and also interactive maps, animated maps, and 3D models that show all of this information. So that's the website, and I have some bookmarks here if you want to take one later. And the first part you can see is interactive map. And this interactive map, you can see the pirate ports, the pirate strongholds otherwise, that were used in Greece during the period of 16th and 17th centuries. And the map looks like that. And all of those ports were in Greece, and some in the European countries. What's good about that is that this map allows you from here, from the menu, to select and unselect which layer you want to see, or to have them all enabled. And also, if you click on each point, you can see this window as a pop-up, and you can see information about the place. You can see the name of the place, the name of the stronghold, the type of the place, if it was a beach, a port, or whatever, information about pirates, further information, and you can see images like those I showed you in the previous slide, but there are maps that they were created in those centuries, or drawings that they were created back then. You can also see information about the most of the ports in the website, and also there are 3D models for them. And what's good with the 3D models is it helps understand better what we see. And to do that, we use satellite images. And this is the island Paris, for example. And you can zoom in and out and even rotate it and interact with this map. So you can understand better what you see and what is being described on the papers. And also, you can add those things. You can mention places like a port, a castle, where the settlement was, so you can understand even better what we're reading. And of course, we have information about the pirates, they acted. And there are maps like this one, animated ones, that show some evolution, we can say, of where the pirate went and important places he visited. And for example, this is from the pirate and spy, Petrus Lanzas. And this is from a time period of his life with the main battles he had in Kerkia. This is the island of Kerkia, and all the places he visited appeared one by one according to the time he went there. So, what's the practical use of all of these in a smart city? The practical use is that we can use actually monitors that support touch screens or even video walls to show all of these 3D models and cartographic creations that they are created in order to explain better the history. So we can also create thematic parks or rooms that are created even close to the archaeological findings or near the ports, and contain all of those information and even more information about the specific place they're referring to. And we can also use large screens for presentations of videos that show, such as the video I show you with the animated map, or even more interactive ones. And they can also be created conferences and spaces at those places by archaeologists, cartographers, and everyone who knows that history and can show that with the use of those maps, with the use of the G.I.S. And also, this has not to be only for entertainment. This can also be a part of education, for school, for university, from everywhere. So, what are my conclusions? The knowledge of history of this place is not only an outcome from a book. You can also use it, you can also find the information from more interactive and realistic activities. And also, visiting those locations offer a different perspective. And by seeing those maps and the creations, you can understand even more about the place. Also, they can give, of course, the website can give the information you want to share to everybody and easily access just by clicking in a Wi-Fi or internet. And generally, G.I.S. can visualize aspects of history, not only piracy, but every kind of history, in many ways and combinations. This means that technology can create truly impressive results. And all of those results can attract people not only to the places, but also to the history. Knowing the history is an important thing, I think, and you can change the past, but you can definitely change the future by knowing your past. That's all from me. Thank you for your attention.
But looking at the title, my first impression was a kind of metaphor of piracy, like hackers. Hackers are pirates, more or less. You see this, you know, and I believe it was something regarding, you know, security, hacking security. You see this. Anyway, that's a different problem. Questions? Yeah, like that.
Thank you. Very animated presentation. I enjoyed very much your presence. Yeah, similar to what Robert said, I'm inspired thinking about pirates and data and what people and pirates did back then. I think they had those ships and they attacked other ships and they stole the goods and right. Yes. So I wonder if there are thoughts, or there could be thoughts related to data and you know, smart cities, smart data, but data being available, but taken over in connection with privacy and on the other hand, open data. If there is like, Benedino just said, oh, we took all the data from Google. Is understand that you're mapping, but are those things that were happening as pirates are they happening today in AI world, in data world, and what would that mean? And how could we understand that? I think that would be very intriguing thought or research, even establishing a new research area. I don't know.
That's true, that's true. That's only the beginning. It could go further today to even more earlier years, and of course, piracy existed and it still exists in many forms, not only internet, but we still have pirates, actual pirates today. So yes, it could be a thought.
Yeah, I think that would be very exciting to think about what does it mean to be a pirate in a digital age related to applications, data, privacy, security, copyrights, in different aspects, spatial and also other aspects.
Robert,
What about piracy of artificial intelligence to humans?
Okay. That's also a part, a new part of piracy, I would say. And it's going to be discussed in further works. For now, I'm focusing on the history and show off the history. That because piracy is a part that we barely talk about that. And most people have just images of people searching for treasures. So I want to make it more realistic and show that that's part of the smart city too by the use of the G.I.S. Thank you.
Robert,
Yeah.
I would like your permission to do a comma, not a question, a comma, without speaking. Can I have the permission for?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Pirates in the Caribbean were the most well known, and they were existed actually. But I wanted to show that we have in Greece and the Eastern Mediterranean a lot of pirates. So thank you for that.
Yeah, the modern pirates are right there, they're right here. So that would be excellent.
Oh, one quick question. Do you prefer technical or non-technical questions?
So whatever you want.
Yeah. So, which is the source or what can you use for your training models?
My software. The software. I use mainly Blender and the plugins from the website.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot for
Thank
your
you.
presentation. Let's proceed for the